Attention, everybody. The views and opinions expressed on the show are not necessarily those of Acts Ministry, Acts Media Group, and/or their affiliated supported ministries and/or nonprofits.
I suppose you got my text and everything.
Look at us. We're live, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to like and
Go
share
ahead
this
and
video.
hit M for merge. M.
Merge.
Good morning. Coming to you live from Acts Media Group headquarters here in beautiful Springfield, Missouri. It's the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay with your hosts, Matt and Jay, Steve and Jeff.
With a G.
Jeff Papa.
Dunham.
Thank you for
Dunham. you know where that's coming from, right?
Yeah, with Jeff Dunham.
That was I was crying. I was laughing so hard. Peanut. By the way, I found the Brian Duncan interview and I just nailed it. I gave it to him yesterday.
Nice. So good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
My name is Steve.
I'm Jeff with a G.
We're glad to have everybody on board with us today.
Today.
I just wanted it to rhyme with.
Well done.
Yeah. So today's topic: blessings.
Amen.
So
Amen.
we sing this song at church almost every week called Blessings or The Blessings. It's like the Lord bless you. What in the world? Sorry, there's other people that use these microphones whenever everybody else is. So
Wow.
it's like,
Yeah.
Creating.
I was looking up blessings in the Bible.
Cool.
But blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is in him. That's the beginning of it. And whose confidence is him. How do we build confidence, right? So if so that's such a great thing because it's true about how the Lord responds to us. And then that builds our confidence in him. Right? I mean, if we were if you have
Morning,
any
Larry.
doubts out there, when you trust the Lord and obey, you give your life to him, you accept the sacrifice he made for your sins to redeem you, right? And then he responds, your confidence in him grows. Because we have a Lord, we have a God, a Father in heaven who responds to us, who responds to our faith and our trust. And then when he responds to us, our confidence is grown in him, which I like the way that says. And then it says, they will be like a tree planted by water. It does not fear when heat comes. Its leaves are always green. It has no worries in a year of drought and never fails to bear fruit.
What scripture is that?
That is Jeremiah 17:7-8.
Jeremiah 17:7-8.
And that was the NIV version.
Yes, I want to be a tree planted beside the water.
Yeah.
Amen. Because
I mean-
you're getting fed. You don't always have to wait for rain because it's coming up from the.
Right. You get it from the river.
Wow.
I just like how it's true because my faith grows, my confidence in the Lord grows by how he responds to me. So when the Lord makes a promise and you fully submit and obey and follow him because he's worthy of it, because you understand the mercy and the grace that was extended to you, he responds to you in a way that builds your confidence in him. And then your trust grows. I like that. It's kind of like any friendship or any relationship, right? You put yourself out there and you take a risk. You say, you know what? I'm going to take a risk here and trust. And then you go and you act that out, you know, to give yourself in some way to somebody. And then when they respond to you favorably, right, then your trust and your confidence grows. And a relationship can become, I mean, any relationship, like even between us, you showing up every day builds my confidence that you're going to be here. Your willingness to learn and your being competent in operating the systems that we have and turn on the lights and to do all that and to be here walking in the door each day. My confidence grows in you. And I trust that you're going to be here and that you're going to produce the shows that you're setting out to produce. And so, and that is very much like our relationship with the Lord, right? Because he shows up.
Well, that's what do they say? Is it 50% or 80% or 75% is showing up? And
Yeah, that's what is showing up as 88% of life.
88.
That's what that's what my dad had at a shop hanging up.
Yeah.
Showing up as 88% of life.
And this says, but blessed is the Lord. So it's talking about us blessing the Lord.
I know, who would have
Be-
thought
when we trust
could
him.
bless him.
Well, it says he's a jealous God. So who's he jealous of? I'm extrapolating. I'm thinking he wants to be number one with us, and he actually desires our fellowship, which is, it sounds almost like, whoa, he's almost like human. But I guess what it is that, and like it says, we're made in God's likeness, that it's beyond what we can imagine, but the fact that he can actually feel what we can feel, and even the vulnerability that we feel, the needs that we feel, he can feel that.
Yeah.
And I suppose to a certain extent does.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
Because I think that's one of the ways that he made us in his image. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And the
Disrobing
great thing
it.
about the God's blessings is that when we put our trust in the Lord,
It blesses him.
and we don't have to put that amount of trust in it, or we shouldn't put that amount of trust in anyone else,
Right.
because he's the only one who doesn't let us down.
Right.
Right.
And that gives us the strength to be trustworthy for others
Yeah.
from his strength.
And then the mercy and grace that he extends to us when we don't trust like we should, and the forgiveness he gives us, and how he continues to invite us back into his presence
Right.
is an example, right? Isn't that an example of how we can extend grace and mercy to people who let us down? Because, like you said, he's the only one who never fails us.
Yeah.
So we can't really expect that in relationships in our life, that perfection, because we can see our own selves letting him down, right? And we want to extend that same grace and mercy to the people in our lives,
Did you try restarting your phone?
I'm going to restart it.
not because they're worthy, but because we want to take on God's character. We want to be like him, and we want to love and have mercy and have grace. We want
He is
justice
worthy.
as well.
Amen.
He is worthy.
He is worthy.
Yeah.
And he's been such a blessing to me and blessing to Rachel and I so much that we've had. I'm just so this Thanksgiving, there's going to be a lot to be thankful for.
Give
I
us
mean, with the
give
help-
us a highlight. Give us a
Yeah.
opening into that window.
Because of my health issues, things could be worse. Satan can think he can try to downgrade me and throw me into the fire and just say you're nothing. You're whittling down.
Give up.
Give up, right? And so the Lord's, just like Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. And some days like today, I'm going to need a lot of strength to get through the day, but I know that with what God's given me, the strength that I've got, that there's no reason my spirit should be down, because I know the great physicians working on me on a daily basis. So, but that's just a blessing to me that Rachel and I are together. She's taking care of me, and she's able to do what she can and still be able to work. I feel bad for her because she goes to work 7-8 hours a day at Belk. Oh, well, the department store
Right.
with lots of clothes.
Yeah.
Anyway, she has been such a provision and a blessing to me, and so that's how I feel. I guess that's what you were asking, right, Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, what you're,
Thankful for.
because like we were talking yesterday about hurdles that we've all had to jump through life, but how do those challenge? Place your trust in the Lord, and He will direct your paths. It's like regardless of circumstances, and that's like, wow, how can you be talking about Thanksgiving and a lot to say thankful for when you have so many hurdles to jump?
Right.
And it's a mystery, really.
Yeah.
And some people call it the definition of insanity? Doing the same, but it's like
doing the same thing.
yeah, but if you're doing the same thing, which is throwing your cares and burdens upon the Lord,
that's not insanity.
That's
it's
not. It may sound like insanity, and people say you're pie in the sky. You're like, you just. It's a crutch.
But
people
then
interpret
look.
it differently.
But you know what? If you put feet to your prayers in a lot of ways, then the blessings are going to come either quicker, but God's never late. He's always on time.
Yeah.
And there's times when I thought, man, it's not where are you, God? It's just like, man, it would be nice any time now. But really, there's times when I really didn't say that, and God showed up, and I was like, wow. Just like, my guest Sunday afternoon, I didn't expect to meet Jessica and Austin, and they came up to me and wanted to pray for me. I was their first person, and next thing I know, they're on my show on Monday morning.
Right.
Well, that's
The Lord's
interesting because
blessing.
they probably saw you with your walker, right?
Right,
Is
they
that why
did. I
wanted
was
to pray
sitting
for
on
you?
my walker, and they saw the braces, and they wanted to come up.
Morning,
they come up
Stacy.
to me and asked me if they wanted to pray for me, and they did. They laid hands on me right there in front of the department store, and
Blessed
so,
is the one who trusts in the Lord.
So that's why when he gave me his testimony real briefly,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, "Well, what are you doing tomorrow morning?" He's like, "Nothing," because I knew they lived in Springfield,
Wow. So it's an
And-
easy commute. How far
Yeah.
away? They're like 5 minutes?
probably 5 or 10 minutes.
That's not bad.
So he said, "Yeah, we'll be there." And just, "You don't mind if we bring our 7-month-old?" And I'm like, "No, I'm sure it'll be okay."
And little daughter.
Yeah,
Uh,
Naomi.
Naomi. What a beautiful name.
Yeah, and then Melody came after Keith Green's wife's name.
Keith Green was an amazing artist.
Now,
I loved him.
was she did she die with Keith?
I
his-
don't
No,
know. She didn't.
He died in a plane crash.
Yeah,
with Leonard Skinner.
yeah.
It was his plane that Leonard Skinner died on,
Oh
Freebird.
my
Yep.
gosh.
And so that's why,
and he was on the plane with them.
right. And even though she's alive, they wanted to kind of do a tribute to Keith Green by naming their daughter's middle name after Keith Green's wife.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
but anyway, that
He
was a
was
blessing
a-
to me.
Classical concert pianist, and then when he got saved, he became a Christian, and he made no apologies.
Oh yeah.
You should listen to his music. So
Yeah.
powerful. He made no apologies.
Oh, yeah.
His music preached it so powerfully, without exception. He was an amazing man. What a story.
Brian and Keith were close friends.
Yeah.
Brian Duncan and Keith Green, they were both good friends. And
Was he the pianist
who?
for Leonard Skinner?
Brian Duncan.
No.
Brian.
He had a band called Sweet Comfort Band back in the early 70s. And so
In the oily 70s?
in the oily 70s.
Sweet Comfort, as in Southern Comfort.
Well, no, it was a sweet comfort knowing that he's in the sweet comfort hands of the Lord. I guess that's where he never really explained where he got the name from, and I forgot.
It sounds like a safe, sanctified take on that.
Yeah. By the way, I
Wow.
told you I found that the show that we did with him on the
Yeah.
second when Tanner was here and you were sitting here. Oh, I was having a good time. I was like, man, I found it. Woohoo! His manager wanted to have it on his so he'll be playing that on his website. Our interview.
Brian Duncan.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be
So
great.
he wants. I just talked to him, and he wouldn't mind doing an update again sometime. So he'd like to come back on.
What is Brian's story? What's he doing? He was with Sweet Comfort, and that was a Christian band, right?
Right.
And what does he do now?
He's a solo artist now. He's been a solo artist away from Sweet Comfort for years, and he's had
They weren't a Christian band, though, were they?
yeah.
Were they? Oh, okay.
He's
Hi,
had
Mom.
22 22 solo albums alone. And
Brian Duncan.
yes.
Good morning, Auntie.
And
22
22.
with his name, Brian Duncan.
Yeah.
Whatever. Wow.
Yeah, it was quite an interview, wasn't it?
Yeah.
With the birds and everything.
Yeah, we had the birds. Oh, was that the one where the bird
Yeah, the
came
bird
in?
came in.
Came in and dropped a load
And
on
everybody went-
Tanner.
Live
And then
on
I
the air.
thought that'd be funny if it pooped on Tanner, and then Tanner's like, "There's something wet on me."
Yeah.
And we're like, because if you're watching the show, you can see all of us go. And you can see maybe the bird's wing a little bit come into the picture,
Yeah.
but then everybody's like, Like simultaneously.
That takes me back to New York when we had an apartment on the Upper East Side, 87th between 2nd and
Morning,
3rd.
Dennis.
And it was like The Birds, the movie, Hitchcock,
Oh yeah.
outside of our window. And we were like, the window's across the way.
You were
We're-
just at the right altitude.
Well, we were about 5th floor, we were top floor. And it was like, we were like, our window was like 5 feet from the window of the building next, facing us.
Right, yeah.
But in between, they just lived there. The pigeons. That was like, it was like the birds. They were like just waiting, pecking on our window, like ready to come in. And just it's like
They're like, "Hey, man, we're
terrorizing.
running out
Can
of
you
room out
imagine?
here. This is our
my
space."
wife, my girly girl Peg. Oh, she was terrified. Terrified.
Poor
She-
lady. She's so sweet. What a sweetheart.
terrified.
Oh, did she talk to them?
No, she just hid from them.
Did you put up thick curtains or something to hide it?
No, I
I'd
just
be-
thought it was kind of funny. My daughter Helena,
too
she's
funny.
about 10. She's like, "Mom, it's okay. They're not. They're not. They're not breaking in." She's, okay, I don't like this. That was creepy though.
Morning, Sissy Brooks.
That's funny.
That movie terrified me. I have to say, when I was in 7th grade, I was at my friend's house. We were watching the birds at his house, and it finished at like 11 o'clock at night. And from there, from his house, I had to walk to my house, and he lived on the far side of the lake, and I had to walk the edge of the lake, and then when I got to the end of the lake, I had to go cut across the golf course, and when I heard, just, literally, I had just watched The Birds. I'm like 11 years old. I never saw. I'm not kidding. I never saw so many birds
Nice.
populating the trees. It must have been like
Good job,
who
Dennis.
knows, October or something. They were. I ran so hard across that. I thought I was going to die.
Was there a blessing in it?
I got home safely. I did not. When I jumped a little stream and I
We need a good
wiped out.
report from this. Did you move out of there?
Well, no. My mom sold the house.
That
and,
place is for the birds.
Yeah, no, I was like 10. Yeah, I was conceived in that house the day they moved in, and when my mom retired, I got married, and what else? 3 things happened all in the same month, and that was the end of the house. But it was nice. It was a great place to live, but that was the scariest.
Joe, Katie, we're
night I
talking
ever
about
had.
blessings today, and how
Blessing
God
was
blesses us.
I survived the run.
You can find a
home.
blessing in everything.
We miss you, Joe.
We do miss you, Joe. Joe, Katie, brother Joe.
There were always hugs coming around from him.
Oh yeah, there was no there
and a
was no
joyful noise he always made.
Yep. Yep.
And I don't mean he was singing. This man had joy in the Lord. What a testimony.
Joe.
I
Yeah,
have joy,
Joe
joy,
Katie.
joy down in my heart.
What was his done? What's the highlight of that one?
Oh, well, he was shot by the police, right?
I don't know.
Well, he came out.
I can't remember if he was shot by the
He came out to battle the police with a gun.
Why?
And ended up not getting killed.
Why did he go out to fight the police? With
I
a
don't
gun?
know if I can say this, Joe. I don't know if it's really my business to say it. We should. I would love to see. It's an amazing story. The Lord really just said, "Look, you're mine, and I'm here to get you. Turn around," and he turned his life around.
Wow, that's awesome. That's a
Turn
blessing.
around.
Yeah,
Every now and then I get shot by the cops and what?
and he was
Turn
done.
around.
Yeah.
It was over for him. I mean, it was what an intervention. The Lord just showed up and said, you're mine."
Ornery. Boy,
Stop
he's
this.
ornery.
Joe's-
He is
Joe is local.
ornery.
He's local.
He was.
He was.
Yeah.
He's living in Oklahoma now.
Yeah.
Where the
Yeah.
wind comes sweeping down the plain.
Yeah, he got married and moved to Oklahoma.
And the
That's-
waving
that's-
wheat can sure
that's
smell
local to
sweet
me.
when the
Yeah.
wind comes
Fly-
right behind
still
the
fly over.
rain.
Yeah, powerful man of God. Loves the Lord.
Oklahoma every night, my honey
Yeah.
live
And it
by.
spreads. I would, he's an example, like Steve, an example of the difficulties in life and how to bless and praise the Lord anyway, and how the Lord returns those blessings anyway. And then this man, he's a good example of joy. He just spreads it. When he comes around, you're going to be filled with joy because it's contagious, and he has so much of it. To celebrate life when you're dead, man. And the
Yeah.
Lord comes in and gives you new life, and you're celebrating as a dead man given new life like he was. It's just such a tremendous amount of overflow of joy.
Incredible.
Yeah.
You know, you can always find joy.
Yeah.
Morning,
Not to toot
Brother
your horn
Curtis.
for you, Joe. It's just really good to hear from you.
You can always find joy in everything that you do.
Yeah.
Especially way down.
If you have joy in the Lord, you can find joy in anything. You can stub your toe. I know it's really hard to find joy in stubbing your toe.
It really, really is.
It is hard to-
especially in the dark,
Oh
in the
yeah,
middle of the night.
Yeah.
I had some ingrown toenail issues on my big toes,
I bet you it did.
and had something to do with calluses right underneath. It was not good.
Yeah.
Right.
But I thanked God when I woke up and my toes weren't hurting. So it hurt really bad whenever I realized that it's you gotta get them calluses out of there because
Yep.
and I about cussed whenever it happened. But hey, the blessing is that I can walk and not worry about my toes hurting
Oh,
anymore.
Seabiscuit.
Amen.
Joy unspeakable and full of glory, Dennis Everson says.
Amen.
Now you're gonna have all these Southern gospel songs or these.
My bad.
That is your bad.
But that's okay. It's worth repeating.
Yeah, joy unspeakable and full of glory, full of glory, full of glory. It is joy unspeakable and full of glory, oh, that has never yet been told.
I'm not a real joyous person. I'm a really very serious person.
No.
Most of the time I am, and I have a
We're
dry
surprised
sense
by
of
this.
humor. But the thing is, you've got to
do
surround
too.
yourself with people who are full of joy, because it's very important to look for people who are
Hi,
like-minded,
Rachel,
who
sweetie.
love the Lord, and who have different character qualities that they can bring to the table to bring
Morning, Scott.
joy into your life. Sometimes your personality and your character can be blessed by somebody else. Where that's why it's so important to share. To not put your light under a bushel. Because
Exactly.
in the sharing of
Hide
it
it
is
under
where
a
other
bushel.
people
No,
can celebrate
I'm
and
gonna
find
let it
joy,
shine.
where they might not so easily find joy, and a reason to celebrate without it.
Get the joy, joy,
Boy,
joy,
my guest
joy
yesterday
down in
didn't
my
have a
heart.
lot
Where?
to share.
Down
I
in
mean,
my
he had a lot to share about
Down in
being
my
underneath
heart.
that bushel for a while.
Yeah.
But he wants to light he wants to light the world up with his testimony.
Oh, I'm so
Yeah, and he
happy,
did.
so
Yesterday was
happy.
amazing.
Yeah.
I have the love of Jesus in my heart.
Uh,
I'm so happy, so very happy. I have the love of Jesus in my heart. One more time. I got that joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. I've got that joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart to stay. All right, good job, everybody. We'll reconvene back here and practice
Thank you,
some more.
Lord.
And you know what? That was probably it for the day.
We'll quit while we're behind.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay out of it. I heard myself coming in there and didn't
You're like,
quite sound right.
Yeah, that was sad. You got a-
Joy, the joy.
but you got the great DJ voice there when you talk.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
It's
Yeah,
that
I don't know what you're
smooth-
talking
I've had
about.
people
It's
saying
the
that to
smooth
me.
sounds
I don't know
of
what's up with
Jason
that.
Sweet
Combs.
sounds.
I think my voice is changing
Yeah.
because
Well,
people say that more.
when you get your age, you'll start to notice you're losing hair in different places.
I'm seeing gray
Because
popping
it's
up in my arm.
like reverse puberty.
Right?
Instead of growing hair, you're losing it.
Yeah. Does anybody else shed eyelashes?
Everybody has to.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
guess I don't really.
I
Mine,
have,
like,
and
go
I've
through
had
a
an
cycle where
eyelash
they
in my
all
eye.
come out
Boy,
at
does that
once.
hurt.
Oh yeah.
And I
Really?
What's left is the new little fresh ones.
Well, when you get the eyelash in your eye, wow,
Yeah.
it's like
Oh yeah, it
it's-
sucks.
It's intense.
Well, see, I've got this. Okay, so the chain on my ring right here is because it's a spinner, and it has Philippians 4:13 on it, and it says, "I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength." But the chain is loose, and
Oh man.
well, I must have one night while I was sleeping,
Uh-oh,
or one day while I was
I
sleeping.
think I know where you're going with
I
this.
was. I guess I scratched my eye,
Your eyeball.
my eyeball with it. I woke up and I'm like, ah! I had to get some lubricating eye drops and just close my. I know it hurts just thinking about it.
With
doesn't
your
it?
chain on your finger, you scratched your eyeball in your sleep. That's
Yeah.
very Hitchcock.
Very, isn't it?
Very
wow.
Hitchcock.
More
Alfred
like
Stephen
Edgar
King.
Allan Poe.
Yeah.
Well, you know how often I want to do that? Nevermore.
Feeling it.
I hear you.
Nevermore.
But the blessing is it's healed.
The blessing is it was healed when I woke up.
Yes.
When I woke back up. I just doused my eye with lubricating eye drops, these little bitty individually packed ones, and it's like, and then I got to keep my eyes closed anyways because I got to go back to sleep. And I fell asleep, woke up. It was a little irritating, but it wasn't bad. But
Wow, that I've done that, and then realize when you itch, but man, why?
Let's see what Joe Katie
And then
has
you
to say.
wake up and you look in the mirror and you're going, whoa! It breaks out.
I'm going to
Next
try
thing
and
you know,
read
you got
this
pink
like
eye.
Joe Katie would say it. Let's see if I can do this. Was told the other day, that almost sounds like Steve Schultz.
It does.
Was told the other day, must be a Capricorn because I'm happy all the time. I told him that I had absolutely nothing to do with it. My joy comes from the Lord. It is my strength. Y'all are so kind. I miss you. Miss y'all. Yeah.
Yep.
Miss
We
y'all
miss
too.
you two so much.
Yep,
and for
I
those-
agree.
Kim Roberts, welcome
I
to
miss
the party.
Steve Schultz.
When people ask me my sign,
Cheryl
I say I'm
Summit.
sign of the
Do you
cross.
know that I haven't seen physically eye to eye? Have not seen Steve Schultz since before the COVID.
Well, and even then you didn't because you're a
Right.
little bit taller than he is. Love
No,
you,
he
Steve.
said that. I didn't, Steve. If you're
Yeah.
watching,
That's too funny.
Yeah.
Don't get short with me.
there's a song out after him. It's called "Short People."
I wonder how's the gardening? Did you garden this year, Steve, or did you just carve stuff? He carved a
I
ton
think he
of stuff.
carved. Yeah, he probably
You
carved
should
a lot.
see the work he's doing. Beautiful stuff.
I can't wait to
Artistic.
see it. Steve, eventually we will see each
We
other
need something
again.
to set out here. Really. Something beautiful to put out here. I think a bird, because remember the bird came in? He wasn't here then, though. Anyway.
Oh, well, so I'm actually hosting a watch party as well. So
Well, that's good.
if you hear me
finally.
saying good morning to people that you're not seeing, it's because they're on my watch party.
Say, hey, same with me. But
Yeah.
you already knew that.
Oh, so you just needed to restart your phone.
Like
I
and
already
share
did.
these videos.
Like and share these videos.
It's the
I
most
got
important
lectured
thing you can do to us.
hardcore by Jay this morning. He just yelled at me before the show
Yeah.
because I shared this show, but I didn't share the other ones.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not in front of the computer as much.
Right. So I went to your page on Facebook, and the last show you shared was ours.
It was ours. Yeah.
And I was like, hey, we're
What
telling
up?
people like and share, and we're not doing it. Well, I didn't do it either. And the reason I confronted you is because I looked at my own this morning and said, wait a minute. The last
Jay,
thing I-
you need to share.
Right.
The last one you shared was ours. How
Yeah.
dare you?
No, I did get the Spirit in America, or the show that immediately followed ours was the last one I posted.
That would be Brighter Living Live
Yes.
with Steve O'Mickey Mac-tastic.
yes.
The Mickey Mac.
I'm getting ready to go on vacation here. Let's see.
That's a blessing.
So I'll be working Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I'm off for 12 days.
Oh
yeah.
I remember that last
I
year when you had
need-
those 12 days.
Oh, I need the time off, man. Said if Steve comes by my house sometimes, I think there's some. I think there's some carving books that I could give him. Yeah. If you can carve out a sliver of your time for him.
Oh, that was good.
I'm getting nervous. You're not being around here, Matt.
Oh, I'll be here.
Oh, he's not going anywhere.
Go on vacation.
He-
You will
he's
be here.
Yeah,
He's on
I'm
vacation from
my
work.
other.
from the other work.
That's a blessing.
But you think you were going to be my replacement? that 2
no,
weeks?
that's what I was worried about.
That's what-
That's. Oh man, it's a blessing that you're here. See,
Hey, it's a blessing to be here. I work a lot. And I
Yes,
do
you
that
do.
because I like to keep myself occupied, and that way I'm not tempted to go and let's go to the bar. I don't have time for it. And if I do have time for it, I think, oh, well, I don't want to get drunk. I don't want to get hungover. I don't want to go in tomorrow and have people smell booze on my breath. And then also, I don't want to disappoint everybody. I don't want to disappoint the Lord. I don't want to disappoint myself.
right,
Mainly, I don't want to disappoint God because I don't
That-
want to put anything before Him.
right.
Because that's why most everything I do, with the exception of my job at the trucking company, everything else I do for Him. And then I try to remember to glorify Him as much as possible when I'm at work.
Well, another prayer request, and hopefully it's a. I want to say hopefully it's a blessing. It will be a blessing.
Hi, Jordan.
We may be
Applegate.
moving up in the world by moving closer to Springfield.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You know,
That will help greatly.
you were supposed to do that last year.
Yeah, I know.
Speaking of blessings,
But because of my physical situation and the doctor, all my doctors are up here anyway. A lot of them are specialists. And because of that, the doctor's like, well, you need in-home care and you need this and you need a place of safety. And my apartment's not made right now for that, and they don't have any openings right now. And I'm not paying $720 a month for monthly,
Right.
month to month.
What would you say? Speaking of blessings,
it's kind of strange how a mix is, especially, and you know what? It also is a testimony of the change God makes in our life, because I had, from a very unlikely place, somebody from work, and I won't mention who it was. When I went in to work to hang up my coat and my stuff, she took the time to say, listen, and she'd known me for a very long time. And she took the time to say, she went over how different I was. And she really blessed me and gave a testimony of how the Lord can make a difference in your life and testify of himself to other people through the change that he makes in your life. And it was sad because she also knew me when I was down, when I was really
she
down.
did. How long ago was
And
that?
Many years, and so decades. So the tragedy in my family that came from my alcoholism and my resentments and my depression and all the things that I was going through, and that I was putting everybody else in my life through. She was there for that, and she said, there is such a difference, and I see you trying to get better every single day, and not only trying, but you are better every day. And she said, and other people are noticing, and we talked about it. So she was actually talking with another coworker about the difference and how each day, and they were both, now the coworker she was talking with, that she, blessed me with, was, he's only known me for a few years. And so they were talking about how every day they see a change in me for the better and how I'm getting better every day. And I was so blessed by that. But the thing is, it was also mixed with the tragedy, So I understand, it wasn't detached. You know what I mean? So for me, it highlighted, and for her, it highlighted the difference from then to now. How just getting up each day saying, Lord, how would you use me today? Give me courage and strength to make a difference today and to follow the path that you set before me. And that the Lord sets a path before you that brings you up and out of the mire and into a better life, and that's an example to other people that they can follow.
Yeah.
And when you give credit to the Lord for those changes and for that progress in your life, that's an example that over time can't be missed.
Where's Randy at?
He dropped me off.
He's
and-
coming back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He dropped me off, and I
Okay.
thought he said he was dropping me off in front to get my, walker out and everything, and then go park. Well, I don't know if he's parked and just sitting out there in the
Is he
van. I
okay?
don't know.
He's not just like driving around aimlessly.
I know. I hope not.
Like, Randy, eat your pudding. Come on.
So wow, I don't know anything about the track. I never heard of you I knew you went through. You were abused.
Yep.
I know that you had drinking issues, maybe drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, lots of
But
drugs.
then was it through that the?
I wasn't addicted to drugs, though.
Oh,
Well, marijuana, I had an obsession for marijuana and an obsession for alcohol.
wow, interesting. What? So, but that kind of led to the issues that you were carrying. Kind of led to the.
Led to that. I think so. I think so.
Now, what's your take on marijuana legalizing all that? Because it's a dicey subject.
It is.
And how do you think it? Because I toked. I mean, I had like 2 hits of marijuana.
It was a long
and
time ago. You could tell
and
because he
on-
said toked.
Yeah.
Like Bill Clinton. I
I
No.
did not inhale. I couldn't inhale.
I would say know yourself and don't hang on to things you know aren't true, because we talked about that all week. Don't hang on to things that are not true. Don't lie, right? So be honest. there's an obsession you can develop for any drug, and that's more my concern than an addiction. When I broke my back, I was physically addicted to many drugs. Never had an obsession for them. Never loved them or wanted them, but I had to take them in order to get through the day,
Right,
or
like-
else I'd have violent
Like
muscle spasms.
Percodan, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Percocet.
well, mine was codeine, Tylenol, codeine.
right.
Yeah.
So-
Mine was hydrocodone. Well,
Mine was
not addicted, but
hydrocodone.
I remember you had.
Oxycodone. I tried OxyContin a couple times.
Well, here
and
they
it
come
did
now
really bad.
for us.
So that's
Oh,
the
to
thing
get it.
is
They're
the
playing our song.
obsession. For me, it's the obsession that you might have for the drug.
Hands up.
When it comes to the marijuana, I don't know why science isn't using that as a medication for so much more, because it is a better, hands down, CBD especially, hands down, marijuana has uses and its properties have uses that are far better effective, far more effective than a bunch of the junk that's dangerous that they're using today. It's far more effective. It's far less dangerous and damaging to the human body. It has far less other side effects that you might need some other thing to help you with. It is a better medication and a better option for so many things that it is shameful and disgraceful that our medical community are not really using it as much as they can.
Don't they take the THC out of it?
As much as they
actual
can.
getting high.
The THC is the part of the delivery mechanism of it, so you need some of it for the CBD to work well. But regardless, the obsession is what I'm concerned about when it comes to addiction. So yeah, I mean, you get obsessed with marijuana. And marijuana, as far as I know, doesn't really have any physical addictions. You don't get actually physically where your body has a negative reaction to your stopping.
I thought something about the brain cells? It deadens the brain cells, or it affects the brain cells some?
I just heard about
It
people getting
reacts
dull.
so
People get dull
vastly
from
different
too
in
much.
other
For the
people.
judgment part of it. I mean,
That's another thing.
It does attack that.
Is I
That's what I
hate when
thought.
people say, "Oh, this is the answer to everything," because it reacts differently in everybody.
Yeah,
For
absolutely.
me, marijuana itself exponentially increased my pain. So if I smoked marijuana, I would my pain would exponentially increase. I would be so much more in pain. CBD, on the other hand, which is an extract from marijuana, significantly reduces it.
Reduces what?
The pain.
Oh,
The-
right.
the
Yeah,
CBD
we take that.
capsules?
We take that for our muscle aches.
So the
Yep.
THC for
Oh,
me,
yeah.
Super hemp balm. That
escalates
stuff is
pain.
amazing.
I'll tell you what. Rachel put that on her legs and her feet,
Yeah.
and within about 10
Super
minutes.
hemp balm is incredible.
It
you can get that
is.
at I think you can still get that at Natural Solutions Store.bz.
Well, I'm out of the capsules, and I need to talk to
Yeah.
Jim about getting.
So I guess
more
I made a
CBD
long
capsules.
story longer. My point is that I think marijuana is way underused and it's way under promoted, and its properties
Jim
are more
Whining
useful
says-
in the medical field.
Jim Whining says that your opinion is appreciated.
Yeah,
He wanted me to. Specifically wanted me to tell you that.
and my concern about it is with people being obsessed with it, people lying to get it, to use it. Recreational use of any drug, I do not approve of, except. There are people who can use a drug or alcohol, whatever, on a birthday or on a celebration. For I have no problem with anything that you use. You can use LSD, marijuana, cocaine. I don't care. If you're just celebrating occasionally with it, that I don't think that's a sin. It's when you obsess and use it every day.
Yeah, but for me, you talk about stuff like LSD, cocaine, crack, of course, heroin. Those, I mean,
They're highly
never,
addictive.
I mean, I tried cocaine once,
My point of view.
and
Sorry, go ahead.
whoa, I woke up the next morning and I said, "That was amazing. I will never do that again because
Yeah,
that was
that's how I
too
am.
easy."
Yep.
I was terrified, literally terrified of the fact that I had a good, I was 27. It was New York City at the stupid club. It was just awful.
It's very easy.
And I was like,
Don't
this
they
is-
pass
this is
off
too-
drugs back and forth
What's that?
in those clubs? Don't they have problems with passing off drugs in
Well-
those
Well,
hand to
I mean,
hand?
of course, but this was just, had a girlfriend, and it was just stupid. I said, well, she was a preppy. I was classic upscale.
Well, of course,
preppy.
that matches.
And, so she was a nice girl, but she
Morning,
just,
Susan Burrows.
And
culture.
I
And
think
was like, I
it's-
am not joining
Good
this
morning,
culture.
Uncle Ray, Ashley Farrar.
My problem is when you start to use things recreationally,
Virginia.
you're using a drug to feel better
Jimmy
than
Lee.
your circumstances allow you to. You know what I mean? So if your life is crap and it's falling apart and you got all kinds of problems or any actual particular problem that's weighing on you and you use a drug to feel better, that's a problem for me, because I think that the real solution to a problem isn't to use a drug to feel better, because like you said, it's too easy.
Well, I felt the potential for addiction.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
One
It's easy.
Obs-
hit
Obsession.
of cocaine.
I know people who are addicted to Coke.
It
A
was
cola.
like I just said
Coca-Cola.
I could become
Mountain Dew.
addicted to this, and I
Right.
had never felt anything like that.
See, but I think that is
Coca-Cola.
really
That's
the
scary.
obsession for it, instead of the physical addiction. Physical addiction is when you have your body physically withdraws and you have a medical issue.
Well, like I
Morning,
say to
Marsha.
my daughter, learn from mistakes.
Yeah.
My mistakes.
Yeah,
And I said, don't try drugs,
yeah,
illicit drugs,
And it's
illegal
best
drugs.
not to.
And especially
Drugs are bad. Okay.
yeah. But I think also an honest report about drugs. You know, when I was young, we were told, "Hey, drugs will kill you. You take one hit of marijuana, you can go crazy and kill
Oh, yeah.
everybody." And
Fear.
they would show
Fear
videos
tactics.
of somebody who was on PCP pulling their teeth out with a pair of pliers in the street, and say this man was on marijuana because marijuana was in his system. But actually, those side effects that he was having that were so horrible were from the PCP, not the marijuana.
I was just gonna say that would do.
So they
Yeah.
attribute
that would do the
stuff.
trick, not the marijuana.
I don't think fear mongering is a good idea either,
No,
because
honesty.
there's enough true report about that stuff that you don't need to escalate a bunch of false ideas about it to put fear into children. Look, if you use marijuana, you can become not physically addicted, but you can become so obsessed with marijuana that you will take the money from your utilities when you have children to keep warm. You will spend your utility bill money on marijuana because you're so obsessed with it. You know what I mean? And you see it all the time. People spending their bill money and being evicted from their homes with a bag of marijuana in their pocket that they paid $50 for because they're so obsessed with it.
Good point.
And their children are in the cold in a stroller, babies, infants. And it's marijuana by itself. They're not even addicted to anything else. They just want to smoke pot and be hippies.
Well, when I was in college, and it was the hippie days, they people would see me walking around. And they said, "What are you on? You're so happy." I said, "I'm high on Jesus."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And I
used to
think
hear
that's the
that
right
a
way
lot
to be.
back
You know,
in the
so that's a safe way to
Jesus
go.
movement,
What
or
do
what
you-
they call it, Jesus. What they call it, Jesus movement.
Jesus
In the
freaks.
70s, it was the
was-
Jesus movement. In
That's
the
what
70s,
I
right?
thought. Yeah.
And then, of course, in the 90s, the mid-90s, there was another revival happening across the nation, and like the Brownsville revival was going on. There was revivals going on all over
We need to have that again
Missouri,
right now.
and that was the Jesus Freak movement.
Yeah, that was named after a group.
AC, what is it? I about said ACDC, but who was it that did that? My brain just DC Talk
DC Talk. Yeah.
did Jesus Freak,
Yep.
and
That was
Jesus
real
Freak
pop-
song, but Jesus Freaks and Jesus people were in the 70s because I was there.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
hey,
remember. I
that's
remember
where it
watching
started.
the Jesus People movement on TV.
I used to get made
even
fun
the
of in high
street.
school because I would carry my Bible around with me. They called me Jesus Thumper or Bible Thumper, and I'd be like, "Yep, proud of it."
Yeah, no, I got baptized in a lake with like 50 other kids.
I was the Jesus man.
and we were in the newspaper cover page.
Hey,
of the-
Jesus man.
Well,
I got saved and beat all my friends with the Bible, became self-righteous, and then
and that's
fell
something
away
that
again.
happens
How
a lot.
could you?
Yeah, and then I
I mean, not to you specifically, but
sort
you
of
know, it's
what do they call that? Backslid.
But you know, when you shine Jesus, they do see it in you. They just ignore it, but they know you have something that they know they need, but they're so embarrassed to say anything. They want to be the bully, not the mean bully, but they just want to stand up and say, "You're the Jesus man." And just like I told you about my friend Kevin, he used to make fun of me, but then he knew when he told me he forgave me, or he wanted me to forgive him, he said, "You never said a cross word to me. You just put up with it."
Mhm.
And he said, "That's why I know I saw Jesus in you."
Yeah, see, the light of we are to be the light of the world. Don't
Right.
hide your light under a bushel.
No.
Don't sit on
There
it.
you
We
go.
want the devil to sit on tack.
Ow. So it's time for us to get out of here.
He's here.
I hear him over there moving around.
Yeah, Randy.
So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us on the morning drive today. For those of you watching on my watch party, I really do appreciate it. Share this with your friends. Tell them about us. We'll continue to talk about blessings this week, tomorrow, and the day after. We're going to talk about different things in regards to blessings. This is going to be Blessing Week 2020, because I think we should focus on good things and not all the bad things.
Yeah, believe me.
Be sure and tune in next for the Spirit in America with Randy Barr and whoever his guest is. Is it Jay? Is Jay's guest today?
Yes.
Yep.
Am I your guest? Oh, okay.
All right. Well, your guest is as good as mine. Anyways, we'll be back on tomorrow, followed by Crime Time with Dr. Steve Albrecht. Really interesting, so check it out. Check it out. Until then, my friends, God bless you and keep you. We love you. My name is Matt,
My name is Jay.
My name is Steve.
I'm Jeff with a J.
and this has been
The Morning Drive.